Hello, my name is Logan Camporeale, and I'm a historic preservation specialist at the Spokane Historic Preservation Office in Spokane City Hall. Today we're standing on 11th and Adams in hopefully the future Cannon Streetcar Suburb Historic District. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of listing your home or a district on the Spokane Register of Historic Places. One of the first benefits that I like to think is the most important benefit of listing on the Spokane Register is the stewardship aspect. Say this was your home here and you were really proud of it, put a lot of money into restoring it, rehabilitating it, and so listing your home on the Spokane Register of Historic Places can help to ensure that future owners do that same stewardship to the property that you love so much. The second great benefit of listing your home on the Spokane Register of Historic Places is it makes you eligible, or makes your property eligible for some important benefits, some financial incentives. And those incentives aren't generally available to you if you list your home on the National Register of Historic Places. So it's really something specific for the Spokane Register of Historic Places. If you do list your home, you go through the process, you get that history, it comes before the Landmarks Commission and your home gets listed, then it would be eligible for the special valuation tax incentive. So let's use the same example we were using before with the Moy House. The Moy House was built in 1908 and it was built by a man named Albion McLaughlin. Unfortunately, we don't know the architect, but when the current owners took possession of it in 2018, they felt like it needed some rehabilitation, and it probably did. It needed some new paint on the outside. It needed some more modern appliances or conveniences like air conditioning and a new furnace. The owners also wanted a modern kitchen, and so they put quite a bit of money into the home. And back in the 80s, that same process was going on, and when it happened to a state lawmaker, he realized that his taxes went up a lot. He bought a historic home, he put a bunch of money into the property, and his property taxes went up. And he was frustrated by that process. And so he brought something to the state legislature to say, hey, when you put a bunch of money into a historic home, you should be able to sort of remove the money you put into your home from your assessed value for a certain period of time. So in Washington State, you can remove the amount that you put into your home for 10 years from your assessed value. So let's use some really easy numbers, because I'm not good at math, I'm a historian, but I can do easy numbers. So let's say that this house was assessed at $200,000. It's probably more, but again, easy numbers. So it was assessed at $200,000 in 2018. If you spent 25% of the value of the home to do your upgrades, not just things on the outside. Things on the outside will need to be reviewed by the Landmarks Commission because the home is listed. So if you want to, add an addition to the back, that's something that would need to be reviewed. But most of the things that you're going to be doing are going to be on the inside. And we don't care what you do on the inside at the Historic Preservation Office, but that money still counts towards your special valuation tax incentive. So let's say what you need to spend is at least 25% of the assessed value. So like I said, $200,000, you would need to spend $50,000 in a 2-year period or 25-month period. And as long as you could spend that threshold amount, we would work with you to look at your costs, to collect your invoices, and we'll work with the county assessor to remove whatever that amount is from your assessed value for the next 10 years. So let's say it was $200,000, let's say it goes up $10,000 the next year. You spent $50,000, you'll be assessed on $160,000. It'll reduce the amount that you're paying in property taxes each year. Basically, for every $100,000 that you spend on rehabilitation, you'll save about $1,100 a year in taxes for 10 years. And after 10 years, it falls off. You're not limited to just once. Say you need to do 3 phases of your project. You're like, 2 years, I can only save so much money. Like, I want to do a bunch of phases. And we've had some folks who are on their 3rd phase. And their 3rd one is about to fall off right now. It's from when they first moved into their home, and they just continue going, continue taking on new projects. Once your home is listed on the register, you're eligible to apply for some grant opportunities that we have. One of them is called the Facade Improvement Grant, and it can be used for any improvements that you want to do to your street-facing facade. And any improvements you want to do, say it's repainting, if you need to do some repointing on your masonry, if you needed to do some, you had one bad window that was replaced with a vinyl window, and you needed to get that replaced back to an appropriate wood window. Those sorts of things would all be appropriate to apply for our facade improvement grant. And we have 3 grants that are working on this year, so we'll see how those come to fruition. And one last benefit of listing on the Spokane Register of Historic Places is that you get your beautiful bronze plaque. People are really excited about this moment, and it's sort of like a rite of passage when you come down and you pick up your plaque and come home and sort of christen your home as a member of the Spokane Register of Historic Places.